Hey guys, Calvin here. Welcome to Yoga for Athletes. This class is going to be yoga flow for athletes. You won't need any props, so once you're ready, let's get started. All right, so you're going to start out on hands and knees towards the front of the mat. If you have sensitive wrists, you can turn your hands out a little bit. And then we're going to start in what's called bird dog. So reach your right leg back and reach your left arm forward. Draw the navel in. If you notice that there's this big dipping in the low back, try lowering your right foot a little bit closer to the floor. Really reach through the right arm and leg. Draw the midsection in and take a couple breaths. And then go ahead and set your left hand down, set your right knee down. Reach your left leg back, reach through the toes, spin the inner thigh towards the ceiling, and reach your right arm forward, wrapping the tricep down. Then actively reach forward with the right arm and back with the left leg. Draw the navel in slightly, and take a couple breaths. One more, and then set it down. So again, you're going to do the same thing on the first side. Reach your right leg back and reach your left arm forwards. This time we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. I'm going to ask you to take your left arm out to the side, palm facing the floor. Turn your right leg out and take your right leg out to the side. Try to reach through the right leg and the left arm. And then leg back, arm forwards, draw the navel in and set it down. From here, reach your right arm forward and your left leg back. Again, to make it a little bit more challenging, right arm out, palm down, turn your left leg out, and reach the leg out to the side. Try to actively reach to the left foot and the right arm for 3, 2, and set it down. From here, come into down dog with your knees bent a whole lot. Lift your hips really high away from your hands, and look for a lot of length in the torso. Press your whole hand down and firm your upper arm. Then from here, step your right foot forward between your hands. Put your left knee down. Take your hands to your right knee. Shift your hips forward. Draw your inner thighs towards each other. And then shift your hips back. Almost straighten the right leg. Keep a slight bend in the knee. Flex the heel. Reach your chest forward. Bend into your right knee. This time, as you let the hips sink down, inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, take your hands down. Again, almost straighten that right leg, reach your chest forward. Bend into your right knee again. Inhale, arms up. This time, turn your chest to the right, reach your arms apart. Come back to the center, arms up, hands down. Shift your weight back, almost straighten that right leg. Reach your chest a little further forward, draw the inner thighs towards each other. And then as you bend into your right knee, step back to down dog with the knees bent a lot. Lift your hips really high away from your hands. Let the heels turn out slightly. One more breath here. And step your left foot forward. Put your right knee down. Hands on the knee. Sink the hips down a little. Draw the inner thighs towards each other. Lift your chest. Then take your hands down. Almost straighten the left leg. Stretch through the hamstring. Try not to straighten the leg out and pull on the back of the knee. Just keep a little bend. If you need a little more, you just reach your chest a little further forward instead of straightening the leg out. Now bend into your left knee. Inhale, arms up. Touch at the top. Hands down. Shift your weight back. Almost straighten the leg. Reach your chest a little further forward. Try to feel like the pinky toe draws back towards the center of the kneecap. Chest reaches forward to the front of the mat. And bend into your knee. Inhale, arms up. Turn your chest to the left, arms apart. Look forward, arms up. Hands down. Shift your weight back, almost straighten the leg. Feel like your chest reaches a little further forward. Take a few breaths. And then shift into your left knee. Curl your right toes under, step to the front of the mat, feet hip width apart. Inhale, reach your chest forward with your hands on your shins, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your chest forward, find a slight back bend, and exhale, fold. And one more time, inhale halfway. This time, as you reach your chest forwards, reach your arms alongside your body. Turn your palms to face the floor, reach through the fingertips and look down instead of forward so the back of the neck is really long. Put a slight bend in your knees and lift your chest up. Then you can straighten the legs, turn your arms out, reach your right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Once you feel the front ribs stick out, pause there. Internally rotate as you bring the arm back alongside your body. Keeping the arm internally rotated, bring the arm back and rotate forward as the arm comes alongside your body. Right hand to your abdomen, left arm turns out a little bit. Inhale up as you feel the front body start to stick out. Internally rotate, bringing the arm back. Keep that internal rotation. Front ribs draw in, arm back. Externally rotate and take the arm forwards. Back to the right arm. Front ribs draw in. Lift your arm up. Internal rotation as you bring the arm back. Take it back and forwards. And then left arm again. The arm slightly turns out. Inhale up. Rotation as you draw that nice wide circle with the shoulder joint. And come on back. From here with your feet hip width apart, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway, and then step your left foot back into a runner's lunge. Walk your right foot to the right a little bit so it's easier to balance. Take your hands to your hips, bend your left knee a lot to start. Draw your right hip in, draw your inner thighs towards each other. Lift the front of the pelvis, then work towards straightening your left leg. Take a couple breaths while you're here. Again, trying to lift the front of the pelvis so you get more sensation in the front of the left leg, and reach your arms up, wrapping your triceps forward. Try to have the arms in front of your cheekbones, and if you have tighter shoulders, even further forward, emphasizing the lift of the back ribs. With the triceps wrapping forward, the back of the shoulders should be really broad. So now we're going to change that. Draw your elbows down and back towards each other, so the shoulder blades move down and towards each other. You retract them. And then inhale, reach up, wrap your triceps. Elbows down and back, chest really wide. And lift up and wrap your triceps. One more time, elbows down and back. Lift up, wrap your triceps. Lean out halfway. Reach your arms alongside your body. Turn your thumbs to face the floor. Lift your hands a tiny bit higher. Straighten your arm completely so you feel the triceps start to contract a little bit. Just a couple breaths, getting that little bit of muscular contraction. And then hands down. From here, you'll step your left foot forward, feet hip width apart. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. On your inhale, come all the way up. Hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, then step your right foot back. Walk your left foot to the left a little bit, and start with your hands on your hips. Bend the right knee, and lift the front of your pelvis. Firm your left hip as the inner thighs draw towards each other, and really work to upright the pelvis. So if you totally straighten the right leg, it's pretty much impossible for you to have a neutral pelvis, so it's okay if it tips a little. Just work towards lifting the front, and start to straighten the right leg a little bit. So you feel some sensation across the front of the leg. And again, we think about lifting the back ribs higher as you reach your arms up. Arms slightly forward, especially for most of us with tighter shoulders, they'll go even further forward. Back body tall. When the arms go overhead, the chest will naturally lift. So don't stress that. Think about the lift of the back body. Keep your left hip firm and reach the whole arm up, fingertips included. Now from here, we'll take the elbows down and back. The chest gets really wide. And lift up and wrap your triceps. Elbows come down and back, widen the chest. Reach up, wrap your triceps. Elbows down and back. Reach up, wrap your triceps, lean out halfway. This time, as the elbows are slightly higher than the torso, make two fists. Try to touch your shoulder with the fist so you feel the bicep contract. Squeeze in as much as you can, as goofy as it is, it works. For 3, for 2, take your hands down. Step your right foot forward, feet hip width apart. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway. Step back to plank, top of a push-up. Set your knees down and lower to the floor. Now from here, fingertips under the shoulders, couple rounds of just cobra pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale up and release. Inhale up and release. Now we're going to make it a little bit harder. Lift your hands off the floor a few inches. Lift your chest up. Lift your feet up. Reach them back a whole lot. Lift the inner thighs towards the ceiling. Now from here, curl your toes under. Set your forehead down. Set your hands down. On your exhale, only lift halfway up into chaturanga. Lower down. Lift your hands, lift your legs, lift your chest. Curl your toes under, set your hands down, set your head down. On your exhale, lift halfway up, lower down. Lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your hands. So in a typical flow class, sometimes we'll do up to 40 or 50 chaturangas and completely neglect the bottom half of that motion. So we're doing it a couple times in this class to help even it out. Now curl your toes under, forehead down. On the exhale, just to chaturanga, and down. And 2 more times. Lift a little higher, strengthen the back body. Release it down, curl the toes, halfway. Last one, lift your chest, lift your hands. Reach a little bit more. Set it down, halfway. Push all the way up and pull your hips back. Now from here, step your feet together. You can pedal out the legs for a breath or two if you'd like. And then you're going to keep your hands and feet this distance. Lift your right foot just to the height of your hip. As you do that, press your whole hand down on the right side. Come up onto your left fingertips and walk your left hand back towards your left leg. Take a few breaths here, or maybe reach your arm alongside your body. Set your hand down, feet together. Lift your left leg up, reach from the inner thigh, come up onto your right fingertips. Maybe this is a lot. Maybe you come up onto 1 or 2 fingers, crawl the hand back towards your right leg. You want to go really slow when you do this, or you'll fall. And then maybe you reach the arm alongside your body. So it's basically just a harder version of that bird dog. Set the hand down. Feet down. Take your feet back out to hip width apart. Pick your heels up. Drop your heels to the right. Move your hips back. If you want more side stretch, come up onto the left fingertips. Crawl them forwards. Take the hand back. Heels up and to the left. If you want more side stretch, come up onto the right fingertips. Crawl them forwards. And then come on back. From downward facing dog, step your right foot forward, warrior 2. So press into your right heel and firm your right hip so your right thigh bone tracks straight forward. Lift your right side waist as you reach your arms really wide. And you'll hold it about 2 or 3 more breaths, not a long hold. Press into the right heel to keep the hamstring engaged. 1 more. Now take your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Walk your hands to the left. Let your feet turn out just a little bit. Keep both your feet flat. Bend into your left knee as much as you can with the heel down. You can keep the fingertips down, or you can take your hands to your heart. Take your hands down, walk them forwards, and come back into warrior 2. Lift the right side waist. Try to hug the upper arm in as the hands reach actively. So feel like both the chest and the upper back are both really wide as you reach the arms apart, and you strive for a nice wide wingspan. Bend a little deeper, and then hands down again. Walk your hands to the left. Let the toes turn out a little. This time as you bend into the left leg, point your right toes up to the ceiling. And again, you can keep the fingertips down or hands to your heart. Take your hands down. Come back to the front, warrior 2. Bend a little bit deeper. Just a couple breaths. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, and take your hands down. Just step back to down dog. Take a few breaths, reach through the arms and legs, heavier through the center of the heel. And step your left foot forward. Turn the back heel down. So I practice heel to heel. If you practice heel to arch, that's fine. Draw that left hip in and get your thigh to track forward. Reach your arms really wide. And think about standing tall in the back of the torso instead of pushing the lower back forward. Be very strong with the back leg and very tall with the left side waist instead of leaning forward over the leg. Pick one point of focus for your gaze. And then bend just a little bit deeper. One more breath. Hands come down to the inside. Walk your hands to the right. Let your toes turn out a little bit. Both feet stay flat. Keep that right heel down. Maybe hands to your heart. Take your hands down. Walk them forwards. Turn the left leg out. Right toes in. Warrior two. As you reach your arms wide, naturally the chest will want to broaden, but look for just as much width across the back of the shoulders. So you can take a gaze at the right hand, make sure it reaches straight back as your left arm reaches straight forward. As the left heel presses down, feel like it pulls back to engage the hamstring and make the bent leg pose not quite so quad dominant. One more breath, bend a little more, and then hands down. Walk your hands to the right. As the feet turn out a tiny bit, bend into your right knee. This time, point your left toes up to the ceiling. You can have the hands down or hands at your heart as you lift your chest. And then hands down. Walk forwards to the front of your mat. Warrior two. So last one, just a couple breaths. Reach the arms really wide. Draw the navel in to lift the front of the pelvis just a little bit. Bend into that left leg, but be just as strong through the right arm and leg. One more breath. Flip your left palm, reverse it, and then take your hands down, step to down dog. Take a breath, reach through the arms and legs, press the thigh bones back gently, and step your right foot forward. As you put your left knee down, keep the toes curled under. Inhale, reach your arms up, turn your chest to the right. Lift the crown of the head high, turn the shoulders, bend slightly deeper in the right leg. And take your hands down. Step back to down dog, and step your left foot forward. As you put the right knee down, keep the toes curled under. Inhale, arms up. Turn your chest to the left, reach your arms apart. Bend slightly deeper as you draw the inner thighs towards each other. Belly draws in and up. Turn the chest, maybe look past the left shoulder. And then take your hands down. Step back to down dog. And put your knees down on the mat. Come onto your back. From here, drop your knees to the left. Turn your chest to the right. If you want to cross the knees or just have one leg bent in, any version of a spinal twist, that's totally fine. Feel like the right side of the chest broadens through the right hand. And then come back to the center and switch sides. Scoot the right hip in so you're on the outer hip. Feel like the left side of the chest broadens through the left hand. If the neck's okay, take the gaze past the left hand. Feel like the outer left hip lengthens forward so the side waist is long to turn your chest a little more. From here, come back to the center. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. As you draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder, pull it to the left a little bit to make the stretch slightly more intense. And then switch sides. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Draw the knee in towards your right shoulder, and then move it to the right just a little bit. And let it go. So have your feet flat, about hip width apart. Rest your palms on your low belly, not your rib cage, but your belly. Close your eyes. And then just a few rounds of breath. Don't breathe deep. Slowly breathe into the hands, not the chest. So inhale. Exhale from the belly, not the chest, slowly. Inhale into the hands, slowly. Exhale slowly. One more time. Inhale into the hands. Exhale into the hands. Open your eyes up and slowly find your way up to seated. Sit nice and tall. Thank you so much for joining me for Yoga Flow for Athletes. I'll see you soon.